I can't believe what I just discovered. Picture this. Humanity flying centuries before the Wright brothers ever dreamed of their first powered airplane. What if Leonardo da Vinci, the original Renaissance man and visionary, had successfully built his flying machine? This episode of Fascinating History takes you back to the 1400s, into the mind of one of history's greatest geniuses, and reimagines a world where Da Vinci's dream of flight came true. Buckle up as we delve into this thrilling what-if scenario. Trust me, you don't want to miss this. Leonardo da Vinci, artist, scientist, mathematician, engineer, and inventor. You name it, he excelled in it. But among his hundreds of sketches lies an invention many of us overlook: his flying machine, or the ornithopter. True to his time, he didn't have the materials, tools, or understanding of aerodynamics to make it a reality. But what if he did? First, let's step into Leonardo's workshop for a moment. It's the late 15th century. Wooden beams stretch high over his studio in Milan. Sunlight filters in through small windows, and the room buzzes with the aroma of oil paints mingling with freshly sawn wood. On a grand wooden table lies an elaborate sketch. It's elegant, detailed, and revolutionary. Leonardo's ornithopter, designed to mimic the flight of a bird. In our alternate history, let's imagine Leonardo gained access to advanced materials, lightweight metals like aluminum, strong silks for wings, and efficient tools powered by water or even early clockwork mechanisms. The ornithopter was inspired by the anatomy of birds and bats, and in this world, Da Vinci successfully achieved the balance and lift required to get it in the air. With Leonardo's unparalleled creativity and meticulous attention to detail, he builds a flying prototype capable of carrying one person. Just imagine the looks from astonished Milanese townsfolk as Da Vinci himself soars into the skies like a mythical Icarus. But now, for the ripple effects. Da Vinci demonstrating powered flight would have revolutionized the scientific understanding of human capability. It's not just about achieving flight, it's about what this invention represents. First and foremost, an earlier understanding of aerodynamics and mechanics would have sparked advancements in engineering, transportation, and even warfare centuries earlier. Remember, the age of exploration was just kicking off during his time. With flight technology, expeditions could have taken to the skies, mapping uncharted territories with unparalleled speed and agility. This brings us to a pivotal moment in history. Imagine Spanish explorers not just sailing to the Americas, but flying there. The sheer advantage in reconnaissance would have completely altered navigational history. Could Aztec and Inca civilizations have held their ground longer if they, too, harnessed this aerial advantage? Or, in a peaceful scenario, could global interactions evolve decades earlier, leading to faster cultural exchanges and interconnected societies? Now let's talk industries. With flight entering human history much earlier, the subsequent Industrial Revolution might have expanded to include an aviation revolution. Imagine flying contraptions becoming part of daily life in the 1600s. We'd be talking airborne postal services, rapid transport of goods, and even aerial tourism as a fancy pastime for the elite. The skies would have been entirely different, lined with intricate wooden and fabric ornithopters buzzing above Renaissance rooftops. But here's a wild card. How would the church have reacted to such a godlike invention in Da Vinci's hands? Remember, this was a time when many breakthroughs were scrutinized against religious dogma. Armed with flight technology, Da Vinci might have been accused of sorcery or even heresy. Possibly, his flying machine could have been destroyed, and flight delayed by centuries despite its invention. Now that's a chilling thought, isn't it? More than functionality, how would people of the Renaissance emotionally react to flight? Literature, music, and visual arts might have taken themes of flight to new heights, pun intended. we may have seen celestial imagery taking a central role far earlier, influencing the likes of Shakespeare, Raphael, and Michelangelo themselves. Entire legacies of art might revolve around humanity's conquest of the skies. And what about warfare? We already know that innovation is often driven by the arms race. With flight, the nature of battles might have changed drastically. Imagine an alternate Battle of Agincourt, where ornithopter pilots drop rudimentary bombs or use aerial reconnaissance to devastating effect. This could have transformed medieval warfare forever. And let's face it, Leonardo, ever the inventor of extraordinary military devices, might have designed these airborne crafts to be used for battle too. The stakes would have climbed, literally and metaphorically. But let's zoom out for a moment. Suppose Da Vinci's blueprint for flight didn't spark an era of faster technological and aeronautical breakthroughs, but instead became a symbol of inspiration worldwide. His working flying machine could have been a catalyst, seeding global movements in education, challenging the human condition, and reinforcing our collective ambition to tackle the impossible. Fast forward to today. Would commercial aviation have begun in the early 1800s instead? Could spaceflight have occurred in the 20th century rather than the long road beginning in the mid-1900s? Perhaps humanity might even be colonizing Mars by now, or at least we'd be far better prepared for such endeavors. However, with every ripple of advancement comes its darker consequences. Earlier development of flight could have meant earlier development of airborne warfare or ecological challenges stemming from overuse of the skies. Could air pollution have arrived earlier? Could sprawling metropolises been designed differently, with rooftops as de facto airports for early flying devices? Societies would have to grapple with the ethical and environmental dilemmas of flight earlier too. Let's pause to consider Leonardo himself in this timeline. Would his flight triumph overshadow his other contributions? In our world, we marvel at the Mona Lisa and the Last Supper, but perhaps in this what-if world, Leonardo might have been renowned solely as the father of aviation. His legacy would have shifted, but would humanity remember him better or worse for it? As we wrap up this imaginative time travel, let's reflect on what the ornithopter really represents. It isn't just a flying machine. It's a product of human curiosity, vision, and the relentless pursuit of breaking barriers. Da Vinci's dream, though unrealized in his lifetime, wasn't just about lifting off the ground. It was about lifting human potential. His legacy has outlasted his mortal years, inspiring centuries of dreamers and inventors to take to the skies both literally and metaphorically. What if Leonardo da Vinci had built his flying machine? The possibilities are dizzying. From changing the course of history to advancing humanity centuries forward, or perhaps revealing just how connected we are to the dreams of visionaries. It's a tantalizing reminder of human progress, ingenuity, and ambition, don't you think? So that's today's captivating dive into history's alternate universe. If you're as fascinated by this story as I am, make sure to follow for more thrilling and thought-provoking episodes of fascinating history. Drop your thoughts in the comments. Would humanity have been ready to soar through the skies in Da Vinci's era? Or would his invention have been too far ahead of its time? Until next time, stay curious and keep wondering.